get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
Hey, Thrive Loud listeners, Lou Diamond here. Hope you're enjoying FinTech Week. This whole week we've been featuring those that have been instrumental in changing, improving, adapting, and making financial technologies more accessible to us. One of my earlier guests on Thrive Loud was Amanda B. Johnson. And when we were putting together FinTech Week, we said we probably need to have Amanda's episode, or at least a part of it, be included in FinTech Week because she did such a great job in explaining cryptocurrency and a lot of the Bitcoin technologies that are out there, blockchain technology as well. It was a really informative episode, which we'll put the links to for the full version. But here, take a quick listen as Amanda really helps describe some very important basics, which all of us always have questions about and might need a quick reminder of. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this interesting, fun episode with Amanda B. Johnson on Thrive Loud. Let's give them a little bit of a 101 so that we can get them up to speed, and then we'll take it to the next level. How about that? So let's talk about blockchain technology first, just as you were about to jump into.
Sure, let's please. So blockchain is just a fancy, really cool sounding word for something that's much simpler. And that is a digital ledger. And when I say ledger, if you're not familiar with that word, a ledger, if we can imagine a sort of, ancient ledger, it would be a piece of paper, and it would record ownership of various things. So we could have a ledger that records sheep. Lou owns 5 sheep. Amanda owns 3 sheep. And if I buy or sell a sheep from Lou or vice versa, the ledger would be updated accordingly. And that's what's called double entry accounting, which is for any gain that one account has, another account must be equally debited. And so that's really what a blockchain is. It is a digital double entry accounted ledger. And so the reason that I guess we call the units that each of these blockchains traces, we call them cryptocurrencies, is actually, I don't know who coined that term. I don't think it's the most accurate term, because the word currency, that's a medium of exchange, right? And so we have upwards of 1,500 different cryptocurrencies in existence right now. And you can buy things with almost none of them. And so really it's a misnomer. A more accurate term would be, tokens living on these various blockchains. And so that should bring you up to speed at this point. Initially, most of us, myself included, assumed that Bitcoin would be the only player in the game henceforth and forever. But it was during these years that more cryptocurrencies started to come out, or more blockchain tokens, I should say, right? And it seemed that some of them offered pretty considerable improvements over Bitcoin. And so I went into the journalism and research space pretty much for my own benefit, in that I wanted to study how they differed one from another so I could know how to invest personally. And so in so doing, I came to be most taken with a particular crypto called Dash. And I asked their network for a job 2 years ago, and they hired me in a very interesting manner. We can talk about that later if you like. And that's what I've been doing ever since.
Let's dive in a little bit to exactly the point that you were hitting on, that there's so many more cryptocurrencies popping up all over the place. And I couldn't name them all, and you just hit the number that's out there. What's the feasibility and the usability of where it is today, but where everyone is trying to get it to? Because that's actually, we're at that point where, it's almost like you're building a medium, but we haven't quite, it's like we're building the boat as we're going across the ocean. We haven't quite finished it yet. So I guess the question to you is, where is it today and where is it going to head to?
Sure. So there is no one general thrust. There is no one general goal. There are lots of different people with lots of different goals. And so what we're going to see in the years to come is whose goals the market really does demand and whose goals were just kind of pie in the sky and unstudied. And, those tokens will eventually go to zero. Now, I believe, and owners of Dash in particular believe that the first application of a blockchain has still yet to be reached. And that is the application that was spelled out specifically in the white paper by the person or persons who first invented Bitcoin. He or she or they have gone by the pseudonym of Satoshi Nakamoto. No one knows who this person is, but we have his white paper, and his white paper very clearly says that he was building a system to be used as digital cash. Now, for various reasons, Bitcoin has made itself completely unusable as a digital cash due to two things. One, it can only process roughly 5 transactions per second, which can mean that if more than 5 transactions per second are wanting to be sent through by a person or people, that they have to begin bidding against each other to put a higher price, a higher transaction fee on their payment than everyone else. And so we've seen transaction fees in Bitcoin go as high as $50 or more per transaction. And that's even if you're wanting to just send $5 worth. You still have to pay $50 worth. And then the second reason that it's become infeasible as a digital cash is that it can only clear transactions once every 10 minutes, which, if you want to go buy a cup of coffee and walk out the door with it right after buying it, it's just not possible. It's just not. And so at Dash, we still see that first application of the blockchain as laid out by Satoshi Nakamoto as not having yet been reached. And that is a cash system, a money system. And so that's what we're going for. Gotcha. In the space, you'll find people going for pretty much anything else, you name it. And whether or not, to give you a prime example, there is a coin called Denta coin, and its founders believe that it will be used by dentists instead of money, that dentists aren't interested in money and rather will be interested in Denta coin. It's an interesting idea. I don't think it's going to work, but there's a lot of this kind of stuff going on.
The irony, Amanda, is that I literally was at the dentist today, and trust me, they're very interested in money because my cleaning is certainly not, it wasn't cheap.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes, Overcast, or wherever you get your podcasts. And follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Thrive Loud. Or find us on the web at thriveloud.com.